What is a strong woman and are masculine men attracted to them? Well, we're going to talk about that today because this is the myth that just will not die. So much so that there are countless coaches, like women coaches, relationship coaches, dating coaches. And I think it's specific. No, it's not just women. I'm going to take that back. I was going to say it's women coaches doing this. No, it's also men coaches doing this. I've seen it. Some actually really popular, very famous dating coaches that I can think of that are men that talk about this myth as if it's actually true. The myth that men, and they just use men, right? They don't say masculine men, they just say men. And that's where we get into this trouble. Men are attracted to strong women. And so you got coaches and experts from both sides, both women and men, that are teaching women to basically be strong. Now, what the hell am I talking about when I say strong? So obviously, there can be many interpretations of the word, and of course, in many ways, it is great for a woman to be what we would call strong. Right? We don't want a woman who, and I'm talking masculine men right now, right? We don't want a woman who is like completely incapable of taking care of herself. We don't want a woman who's just having emotional breakdowns all day over the tiniest thing, right? But typically, when people are using that word to describe women, they're talking about a woman who's like just contained, it's like fully's got her shit together, has a kind of masculine energy. Okay. They're putting masculine traits onto a woman. And this is really challenging for women when their feminine instincts are online, especially right? When a woman's feminine instincts are online, because her instincts really are to let go, like to fully open up, to let go, to fully express. And, when a woman's doing that, you're not going to typically describe her as strong, right? It's going to be the opposite. A woman doesn't need to be strong, she needs to be vulnerable. And you can actually think of vulnerable as like the opposite of strong, but not in a negative way, right? Like oftentimes say like, oh, women aren't strong, and then you got triggered people on my wall that are like, oh, well, so women are supposed to be weak. No, they're supposed to be vulnerable, right? That's beautiful. And that's not a negative. Like the negative of for a man, right, on the spectrum would be weak, I guess. We're talking about women. We're measuring women very differently because we measure femininity completely differently, right? Vulnerability is beautiful. Vulnerability is what attracts masculine men. Now, here's something interesting. When I met my wife over 7 years ago, can't remember the exact, yeah, definitely 7.5 years ago, something like that. One of the things that appealed to me, and I would have said it was like that I probably wouldn't have used this exact word, but like strong, like a lot of the traits, like very contained, put together, self-reliant, independent, all of that stuff. Um, but I wasn't integrated as a man. Like I could lead and I led a lot of stuff and I was very confident in myself and all of that. But I had a lot of feminine energy wounding that was running a lot of the show. And so I wasn't looking for a woman at that time to take care of. I was looking for a woman to basically be roommates with. That's the way I describe it, right? A woman she can handle all her shit. I'm going to handle my shit. We'll come together. We'll have fun, have great conversations, have sex. We'll live together. Maybe we'll have children in the future, and that's it. It's like roommates that are having fun and love each other. That's not a healthy polarized relationship between a man and a woman. And so what happened was once my instincts came online, several years into the marriage, the traits that initially attracted me to her now repelled me. Very interesting. Right? All of a sudden, they repelled me. Now, there's still other things that I really liked about her and loved about her, but those traits, like that independence, that it's not resilience. It's not that a man has a problem with resilience, but more just like difficulty fully opening and being receptive to a man, being fully open and vulnerable with everything that she's feeling, rather than just holding everything together and dealing with it herself and not really showing anything or much, right? So that stuff actually started to irritate me. And it certainly didn't attract me. And so what I had to do was to start leading her out of that, right? Out of the self-containment, out of the being strong, so to speak, because that's actually a wounding for a woman, right? Being strong in that way is a wounding. Now, aspects of that you could also say, and this was also what initially attracted me to her, was it's like she like I could just feel her worth. Like it wasn't the feminine self-worth that I talk about so much, but it was certainly a lot of self-worth, like that she very much loved herself. um, and yeah, it's hard to describe. That's actually a good thing, right? That's definitely a good thing. Oh, and that she wouldn't put it this way. Even though she definitely let me get away with shit that I definitely should not have been getting away with, it was far, far less than the vast majority of women, right? Because most women will dishonor their heart so much when they find a man that they really like, that they're really attracted to. Now, if it's a man that they're not really attracted to, okay, they're not going to dishonor their hearts much because the investment is so low. So, like, no, I'm not going to do that. But when it's a man that a woman really, really likes, it's really falling for, then they dishonor their hearts. Almost every woman, like pretty much every woman that I've met, has done it significantly. Um, and that's a problem. It's a really big problem. And of course, it's because women are naturally programmed to follow a man, right? But when a woman doesn't know how to always honor her heart and slips into complying rather than submitting, then a man's actually going to start to lose interest in her. So that was a big part of that she did that much less, and I could just feel that. I could just feel that energy from her, whatever that is. I could feel it without her even doing anything or not doing anything, that I didn't really feel in most women. And so a lot of women mistake all of this, and they think that, like, okay, well, obviously being a doormat is bad. Obviously, not having any of my shit together is bad. And so then they go in the complete opposite direction, and they actually masculinize themselves and then go to like being strong. And then they're like, okay, why am I still single? Or why is my man just sitting on the couch in his underwear eating potato chips, and I'm like vacuuming while holding my child and trying to plan our trip together, as an example, right? And it's a complete mess. And it's because you're so depolarized by being strong and demotivating the masculine from being attracted to and wanting to take care of you. And that the being strong energy, it ultimately, whether you're aware of it or not, it's all coming from fear, right? You might not be feeling the fear in the moment, but it is this fear of letting go. Letting go as in opening up and sharing everything, letting go as in not controlling things, letting go as in even just feeling all of your feelings, right? Just having it all together, just holding on instead of letting go. There's lots of fear there. And as long as you are, I'm going to say, submitting to that fear, as long as you're submitting to that fear, then you're not going to be submitting to a man and inspiring him to take care of you. As long as you're submitting to that fear of holding on to all of that control and being strong. So, what I help you do, one of the many things that I help you do as a woman, is I help you let go of all of that. I show you that you don't need to be strong. I show you that you can actually just let go. And better than that, you can be so loved, so cherished, so taken care of, so protected, so provided for when you learn how to do it properly. And it's not just as easy as just like, okay, I'm just going to let everything go and see what happens. Because if you don't know how to communicate what you're experiencing, communicate what you need, communicate what you feel, then a lot of men are just not going to be inspired, right? And you can't truly let go. You can't even let go if you don't know how to communicate, right? You'll just be a mess, and you'll just be putting your feelings onto a man. Um, yeah, you need to learn how to communicate. So I show you how to let go. I show you how to ultimately love yourself fully without having to be strong in any way, and realizing that it's not necessary to be that. Of course, it's great in certain circumstances if you have to be, right? Like, it's great that my wife is able to be independent and, take care of our child when I'm working and all of that stuff. But if you're not able to fully let go all the time with a man, then that's a problem. That's a problem. That's much more than just being strong. That's being stuck in wounding and fear and control patterns. So we show you how to let that go. We show you how to shift your communication. That's what we show you how to do in our communication masterclass, where we will show you how to make these communication shifts, what that looks like, and then we will do role plays and show you so that you can actually feel the energy. You won't be doing the role plays, but we will be demonstrating it for you. You'll get to feel that energy, and you'll see what this all looks like in action. It'll just make it so much easier for you to go down this path, this beautiful path of letting go and opening fully into your feminine radiance as a woman, and ultimately attracting and inspiring everything that you deserve from a man, and deserve and need. Go to relationshipyourdreams.com. Our next masterclass is in roughly 20 days, 21 days, 3 weeks from now. Don't miss it. Relationship Your Dreams. Scroll down, book a spot, and I'll see you there.